Good morning, Mr. Jain. It's lovely to have you with us. These are very difficult times. I believe the word that's being used, or rather it's being thrown around, is this is an unprecedented time in the history of education as we know it. And an institution such as yours, SP Jain, which has a name for global education and for taking students across geographic borders and to have them truly get a very, very, very world-class education experience, whether it's in Singapore, whether it's in Australia, whether it's in India. That's been one of your hallmarks. How does the COVID pandemic and everything else that it entails, how does it impact you primarily?
Well, questions really. Questions from students, questions from parents. Would the campus be open? When would it be open? How would you make sure of the safety? What are the options we have? So there are a lot of questions that keep coming up. And unfortunately, we are not soothsayers. I cannot predict when the virus would come to an end and life would come back to normal. So in this situation of uncertainty, we have addressed this with flexibility. Now, as you've said before, we have campuses in 4 different countries. And so we have actually made it open, all campuses open for students. So we can say if you're in India and you don't want to sit on an aircraft, you can come to a Mumbai campus. I mean, you don't want to go to a place with quarantine, you can come to a Mumbai campus. If you're from Southeast Asia and you think Singapore is safe, come to a Singapore campus. Or last but not least, you can do your courses online. Online today has a stigma. Nobody wants to do online. I mean, they do online only because no choice. What do I do? So do online.
Today, where we're at and where the world is at is everybody still aspires to be in a great physical education program, right? I mean, that's the numero uno. You want to be at Stanford, you want to be at Yale, you want to be at Princeton. There are different aspiration levels. I mean, people want to go to colleges. And in as much as you're dealing with students, what is it that you're hearing? What are you finding? Where are students at right now? Do they want to travel abroad and study? Do they want to take that risk? What is it that you're hearing?
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely 100% right. Students want a physical on-campus experience. They've grown up with that. Their parents have grown up with that. That's how we all studied. So it's not inappropriate for them to want that. I think they're absolutely justified in wanting that, and we offer that. But we've said that there are still parents who are worried. They feel that, is it still safe? And so we say that if you feel that there is some concern, then why don't you try online? And Daniel, we actually offer classes for free to try that out. So you don't have to risk anything. You come to a class and you see how it feels.
We're all hoping that it reignites much sooner than that. I think it's good all around if that happens. I'm going to leave you with just one thing. If you were to look, say, 10 years in the future, and everybody's looking at 2030 as a landmark year because that's the year that a lot of the tech giants believe that AI will finally break past the 30-40% threshold and take over a real tech revolution. Of course, I don't think any of them were counting on what a pandemic would do to that. But in 2030, by your estimation, what do you foresee as the future of business education? Do you see it as more blended? Do you see it as more online? Do you see there being like a structural balance? Your take.
I think the sort of degrees that we have today are long. So if I look at an undergraduate program, it's 4 years. Even MBA program for us, it's accelerated 1 year, but for others, it may be 2 years. I think the duration of programs is too long. It will be in smaller bite sizes, is my view. and we would be studying with much more technological tools. I think the physical campus, as we've seen it, so just think of Oxford University, which is the stereotypical brick and mortar stone sort of structure with a sprawling campus. I think we'll have to see that in our history books. It's not going to last. It's too expensive. It's not needed. And it's just, it'll be a dinosaur. I think today we are moving to the age of fiber optics. So with fiber optics, you don't need that large mass of a university. You just need to be connected to people anywhere. So, when you need a professor, why should he be standing in front of you in the room and teaching you?